a long walk over there. Okay. First of all, thank you. Thank you for being here. Okay. Thank you for the parents that are here and doing that. Thank you for choosing to have your students be part of the band program. Wow, what a great opportunity and great experience. I told them today, okay, I have been in a band room for 46 years now. I started when I was 11 years old. I'll let you do the math from there. Okay, but as a little 5th grade trumpet player, that's where I started. And that day, walking into the band room and getting started and making music obviously changed my life. Okay, and it's been pretty amazing since that day. And so it's wonderful to get the opportunity to come back and work with these wonderful young musicians that are starting their journey into the band world and starting their journey into that place where they're going to find some of their best friends, places where they're going to grow immensely, okay, where they're going to work with great teachers that they're going to spend a lot of time with. Because one of the lovely things that we get to do as band directors is that often we get to know our students from the time they're 12 until they're 18 and on. And we'd spend time with them over all of that time. So it's wonderful that they're here and that they have an opportunity to get started with this. And we're very excited to get the opportunity to share with you today what we've done over the last day and a half. Okay. Now, if you can realize what exactly has happened over this last day and a half, I mean, yesterday I walked in here at 9 o'clock, 9:30 we started rehearsal, and we didn't know each other at all. They'd never met me before, I'd never met any of them before, and we got started making music together. And over a day and a half, we've gotten to know each other pretty well, in such a way that we can come together and we can make music together, and that's pretty powerful stuff. Because when you come together and you make music with somebody else, you have to get to know them. You can't make music with people you don't know. And so we've had the opportunity to get to know each other, and their friends and other people around there as well. And so it's a great experience for us to get a chance to do that. That first piece you heard was Star Splitter Fanfare. It's written by a wonderful young composer by the name of Brian Balminges. You're going to hear a lot of his music over the next several years if you stay in band, because he's writing some tremendous stuff for bands at every level, whether it's beginning level all the way up to the most advanced bands that are playing. He's doing wonderful work. Our next piece is an older piece written by Paul Jennings, but is a tremendous piece for us to experiment with some really cool sounds. Prehistoric Suite. We're going to play 3 movements from that suite. Our first movement is the Stegosaurus, the gladiator. And so you're going to get a chance to hear musically what that might entail and what that would sound like if we were to write a piece of music about a Stegosaurus. Then our second movement is the Brontosaurus, that huge animal. And you're going to get to hear our trombones emulate the sound of what it might sound like with a Brontosaurus being able to move through that space, okay, and work through there. And then our last movement, the fourth movement we're going to play, is the battle. Okay, the battle between the Tyrannosaurus Rex and the Triceratops. And we're going to do some things in there. You're going to hear some aleatoric music. I told the band yesterday we get to use our super college word now, aleatoric. Okay, aleatoric means chance music. Okay, and you're going to hear them inventing sounds and doing things together to try to get that idea of what a battle might sound like. Okay, and then work through there. So this is Paul Jennings' Prehistoric Suite. concert without a march. Okay? And so our next piece is entitled Valor. It's a new march written by Larry Clark. And one of the reasons why I programmed this is that this march holds true to march form. A lot of young marches written for young band, don't hold true to the real march form that works through that. And I think it's important for us to understand that, because the march, and particularly in this setting, the band marches, are a true American heritage. It's one of the few American musical art forms that we have. The march and jazz are pretty much it as far as American musical art forms. Everything else we've adopted from other places. So it's nice to be able to work with this and understand what this art form is about and the way things are written. So you're going to hear a typical march setup. It'll start with a brief introduction, 4 bars, and then we'll get into our first strain, where you'll hear the first set of melodies and things that come together. This march is put together so that the second time through the first strain, we add a counter melody that comes in the upper woodwinds. All right? Then we get into the second strain, where we start to get some real dynamic changes, which is pretty typical in a march. In the second strain, we'll start to play with dynamic changes and work through that. Then you'll get to the trio. The trio, you'll hear a key change, which is normal for a march, right? And things will be soft the first time through, right? And we get to hear more of the woodwind timbres and that stuff. And then we go back and repeat the trio the last time. We add the brasses and the rest of the percussion back in and get to take that home all the way to the end. So it's a pretty typical march form, and it's a wonderful march entitled Valor by Larry Clark. Well, I should first of all say a few thank yous here at this moment. And step number one is to say thank you to the directors in this district who gave me the opportunity to come and do this. It is indeed an honor. I know for the many years that I have been a public school educator, I was always very, very careful who I invited to come work with the students in my programs. Because short of my family, they were the most important people in the world to me. And I wanted to make sure that the people in front of them were people that would encourage them, that would grow them, that would challenge them, and would treat them with the respect that they deserve. And so when I get asked to come do these things, I consider this such an honor that people would consider me worthy of coming in and working with their students. And so I want to say a thank you to those teachers, and say thank you to all of them for all of the hard work that they're putting in and doing things for these students on stage. I think we all know that being in education right now is not the easiest thing in the world. And the teachers that are staying and that are working and are doing those jobs are dedicated to the students in their classroom every day. They don't do this for the fabulous hour, the great pay, and the super working conditions. Okay? They do this because they love these kids, because they love making music, and because they love being able to help them grow in the ways that they deserve to grow. And so I want to thank them for their efforts day in, day out in the classroom and doing the things there, and I think they deserve a round of applause. Thank you to the many parents that are here in the room as well. Thank you for investing your time and your efforts and things to get your students involved in this program and to get your children involved in this program. There are students, your children. Okay? But getting your children involved in the program and where this goes from there. I know many of you are probably, you may be on your second or third time through at the beginning and you know what is in store. Others of you, you're not there, you've just started, and it's going to be a wonderful journey. I will tell you, I learned as a band parent how demanding band directors actually are. So I know what that is, and I know it's going to be. It's going to be some early mornings and some late nights and some investment in instruments and in lessons and all of those other things. They're going to pay great dividends for your children. And so thank you for putting them into this space and allowing them to be able to grow through that and to start on this journey as they move forward. I've encouraged this group here to continue that journey. Remind them that, you know, it's going to be 6 short years from now, and trust me, that's going to go by really fast. 6 short years from now, they're going to be looking toward graduation and moving forward on with another step in their lives. And I think the time that they spend in their band program, the time they spend making music with their best friends here on stage, perhaps on this stage over and over again or in another place in this district, they are going to truly appreciate the moments that they've had with their band friends and with their band family. And you know, every time I talk to band students about the things that they love the most about being in band, they always use the same word. It's like family. And these are the people that I've come to know, and I argue with the most, and I care about the most all at the same time. Doesn't that describe a family? So it is wonderful that they're having the opportunities to do that. So parents, thank you for doing that. I also want to thank the district. This district in Putnam City is known for its dedication to the arts. Okay? And that doesn't come by accident either, and it isn't without effort. Okay? I think we all know that the current state of funding, educational funding in the state of Oklahoma is a challenge right now. While it looks like things may begin to move in a better direction, it has still been a tremendous challenge to maintain effective arts programs in schools. And Putnam City District never wavered in that. No matter how things got, they never wavered in their commitment to the arts because they know that the arts helps make our students complete. It's not just an addition. It's not something we do in addition to. It's part of who they become. And we all know that because of the arts, that our children and our students are so much more rounded and understand their lives so much more completely. And I really appreciate the fact that Putnam City is being a model of moving forward and maintaining their support of the arts across the board, whether it's the musical arts or the visual arts or the dance arts, any of those, that they are staying committed to that and moving that forward. So you get a chance to see your administrators and talk to them and thank them for the decisions that they're making to continue to move this forward and support the things that are most important to our children. All right? Our last piece, okay, is entitled African Folk Trilogy. One of the things we get to do in music is we get to explore music from other cultures, and we get to understand other cultures by the music they make. And so this is a combination of 3 African tunes that have been set by Anne McGinney, a wonderful composer for a young band. The last tune is one that's particularly important to all of us. It's called Sansa Kroma. And the actual words, the text of that, Sansa Kroma Nine Wo Cheche Kokoma. Okay? The translation of that is, don't worry, child, we will always take care of you. It's a tribal song that's sung to help young children understand their importance to the community, to understand that there are people there who care for them and want to give them support, and they will always be taken care of. It isn't that a word we want, or isn't that a thought that we want all of our children to know all the time, that don't worry. You will always be taken care of. And we know that in our band programs and the things that we do, we try to exemplify that as well. That no matter where they are, most times when they walk into school, the band room will be the first place they go. It'll be the last place they leave. They'll eat lunch there if their band director will let them. They'll skip math there if their band director will. No, they won't. They won't do that. Okay. But they will do all of those things because band becomes that place where they know they're taken care of. And I think it's really appropriate that we end with that thought today and with that tune. So this will be African Folk Trilogy by Anne McGinty.